Hi, welcome everyone. We are so excited to invite you back for another bite-sized conversation. Today we are joined by our very own Linda Diamond, and our topic of discussion today is supporting adolescents with word reading difficulties. I'm Monica Ng. I am the Vice President of Education Programs at Pivot Learning, and I'm joined by Carrie Thomas Beck.
Welcome, everybody.
She's the Director of Literacy at CORE. Today, our conversation is going to be with our own wonderful Linda Diamond.
So we've talked a lot about what good intervention would look like for older struggling readers. How does this translate to professional learning? So that is, what would the approach for professional learning look like for secondary educators to ensure students get the support they need to become successful readers?
Thank you for that. I think there's a two-part answer to this. First, all educators who have these students need to have an understanding of who these kids are and what they look like. And so the PD should help them understand what struggling readers look like. Where are the areas that they're likely to struggle? And similarly, what can you do in a core class or in a subject matter course, history, science, that can help these students? And that could be part of professional development for all the teachers. And that would be to show them some scaffolds, some ways that they can assist students to learn the content that they're trying to teach, some ways they can augment vocabulary in their content areas, some strategies to help with fluency that all teachers can help students with, and even some strategies to break apart multisyllabic words. So I think the PD should include those kinds of sort of scaffolds and methods that all secondary teachers can understand. I think it's important to understand, help secondary teachers understand as part of the PD, why kids are not turning in homework if they are these students. If you're a student reading at 80 words correct per minute in high school, it's going to take you 3 times as long or twice as long to complete an assignment as a student who's reading at 150 words correct per minute. And so to help these teachers understand that it's not that these students are lazy or recalcitrant, it's just a huge amount of work and takes so much time. And if it takes them 2 hours or 3 hours to do what other kids can do in 30 minutes, how are they going to get all their homework done? They're just going to give up. So there's an element of helping teachers understand what it's like for these kids, what their issues are. Then I think you have to, I'm going to say something that's probably sacrilege, and that is this idea that all teachers are reading teachers. That's kind of like saying that a general practitioner or a gynecologist is also a brain surgeon. I think that's a silly idea, and it's conveyed a misconception of the specifics of teaching reading that teachers need to understand. All teachers may use reading, and that's where you help them understand how they can help students with their content. But it would not be the case that you would want a gynecologist to do your brain surgery or your general practitioner. Similarly, you want them to understand that there are certain elements of teaching reading, and this is where you can also provide professional development on understanding linguistics, understanding the basics of of decoding and some of those earlier skills for the teachers that are going to be responsible for that and will be part of the intervention team to understand how you do that. You can even teach that in a brief way to all content teachers, just enough for them to understand this, but not having expectation that they're going to be the phonics teachers or the phonemic awareness instructors. And that has to be part of what those teaching intervention learn, alongside learning their actual core curriculum, that's for the core teachers, and also learning their intervention curriculum. So that has to be a part of the PD as well. So I'm basically looking at two distinctions. What is it that you can scaffold for all teachers and teach them, and also help them understand enough about how reading works and what these students' issues are? And then what is it you need to do specifically for those teachers who are going to provide the more specialized interventions in an MTSS model, and both for their intervention curricula, as well as a deeper understanding and knowledge of how reading works and all of those components.
You know, Linda, that makes complete sense to me. And, you know, we've all heard Louisa Moats say that teaching reading is a rocket science. And I think that's absolutely true. So I appreciate, again, that you making that distinction between what the interventionists need and what the content area teachers need. And they have unique needs in both circumstances. Linda, we so appreciate you sharing your words of wisdom and how we can best support adolescents who struggle with word reading difficulties. Thank you so much for your time.
So our mission at Pivot and Core is to partner with educators to design and implement solutions to their greatest challenges in achieving educational justice. And so, as you can tell from these conversations, we're deeply committed to improving teaching and learning for students. And both of our organizations have 20 years of expertise working with districts and schools to support systems, to support delivering curriculum implementation and services aligned to high quality English language arts and math instructional materials.